Hey everybody, welcome to Review with Me, your review guide of shows, movies, and everything in between. Be sure to click the like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get on with this review. Hello. We are back with yet another review of And Just Like That, Season 3, Episode 3. Now, let's get into it. This episode focuses on Carrie flying to Virginia kind of on a whim, but it is done on a business disguise, so to speak. Um, she actually gets a call from Aiden's wife. Carrie gets a call from Aiden's wife while she is at Anthony's opening bakery shop, and she's sitting with her girls. And I'm thinking, what's going on? Right? At first, I'm thinking, is she getting a call from Aiden's wife? Well, they had to correct her and said it's his ex-wife. So I don't know why she didn't update that. Nonetheless, they're grown, whatever. So she gets a call from her. I think her name is Kathy. And Kathy is starting off a little suspicious, right? She's starting off like, okay, yeah, I know you're coming this weekend, which is like, okay, why you know my business? One. But she says, I know you're coming this weekend, and what I'm about to say or what I'm about to ask from you is very uncomfortable for me to do so. Carrie makes a joke and says, are you going to ask me to not come? Carrie, you are grown. And the fact that I have to tell you this is actually baffling to me. You mean to tell me someone's ex-wife has to tell you to not come and you'll actually adhere to that? Bitch, bye. I'm like, I'ma come, all right. I'ma come both ways. Okay? What are we talking about? Anyway, that wasn't the request that she actually asked. She actually asked Carrie if she could score her some Adderall because apparently in Virginia, there's a shortage. And Wyatt, being this troubled kid, he needs his Adderall. Okay. So Carrie's saying, well, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know what you expect from me. I have access. Yeah, I live in New York, but I have access to fashion, to openings, stuff like that. But she says she's going to figure it out. Thankfully, LTW, who again is played by Nicole Ari Parker, she is coming in the clutch with her mommy friends at this opening. And apparently, Adderall is definitely easily available, easily accessible, all of that amongst mommies. And that's because of the times that we're in. So I think this was very telling to the times that we're in and how accessible these drugs are. Now, is that a cause for concern? Absolutely. Absolutely. And the fact that one could just naturally and comfortably give you a few pills that isn't prescribed to you, right? They basically did a drug deal. They did a drug deal on this episode amongst high class, upper brow white women. And we're just supposed to laugh it off. Okay. And then they want to talk about the opioid addiction and we should have sympathy. What is this? What is this? Nonetheless, Charlotte, being that she is close with LTW and she's familiar with all of these mommy friends, she was able to help Carrie out with her requests. So we cut to LTW, and throughout this season so far, she's been working on a documentary, apparently. This documentary is going to showcase unsung Black female heroes or Black heroines. Heroin addicts, right? Like what? Adderall, heroin addicts. I mean, we might as well say that. Well, actually, here's what's going on right now. So her editor is letting LTW know that she got offered a great position with some guy. I forget the name, but it's a very notable name. And of course, she's going to take the opportunity. But LTW, being the selfish boss that she is, she's talking about, how could you do this to me? You're joking, right? How could you leave me at this time? We're in the middle of making this documentary. Why would you do this to me? Very selfish, very selfish. And just to kind of a little tidbit on that, I feel like oftentimes these bosses, these department chairs, these whatever the term is for your supervisor. I come from education, so my term department chairs is specific for my field. But whatever term it is, apply it to that, right? For your field. What I see to be a trend amongst many fields is this ownership bosses have towards you, this feeling of you can't leave unless I kick you out, unless I fire you. And how dare you take on another opportunity? How dare you even look at other opportunities and see it as a better one than this one? What? It's actually quite disrespectful. And I'm glad that eventually her editor let her know, I'm taking this role. I'm taking this opportunity. I'm taking this offer, and ain't shit else you could do about it. We've been working on this documentary for 8 years, and I've left you with a lot to finish up with. Do your best. Figure it out. I'm not here to figure out for you anymore. I'm going onward and upward. So we cut to Aiden. Well, Carrie. Carrie's talking to Miranda. They're at Carrie's home. Miranda's telling Carrie about her plan to date this Brit coworker of hers, who she already knows is a lesbian, and she is just attracted to her. They have a little bit of a rapport, but she's hesitant on being straightforward with her because she feels like, well, I don't want to ruin a work contact, right? I don't want to ruin a professional contact. So she comes up with this elaborate plan to say, "Hey, I'm gonna invite you on this networking opportunity, and then as we're there, I'm going to proposition you, and hopefully you like me back." So Carrie asks a wise question, says, "Why do you think it's a good idea to kind of play games like that?" Which I find to be a little ironic because Carrie has all of this advice or judgment for everyone else, especially Miranda. I mean, we all have a lot of things to say about Miranda, but she has all this advice. Yet for her own life, she doesn't have the gumption. She doesn't have the confidence to speak up and really call Aiden out. She mentions that Aiden doesn't have a key to our house. First of all, y'all don't live together, and he's barely in town. He comes in town whenever he wants to. It's never a planned thing. Is he footing another part of the bill in this home? Like, did we not get that detail? But she keeps saying that, and she's saying um her goal with going to Virginia on top of this work trip, her goal is to tell Aiden or to give Aiden a key to our house. Okay. Let's see how that goes. Seema meets with Adam, or she meets Adam, who is the landscaper. Remember the landscaper that we were introduced to last episode? She meets with him and sees that he is very handsome, according to her eyes. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't like the wig he has. I think it's a wig. I don't know what's on his head, but it can't be good. It can't be natural. But she finds him very attractive. Let's talk about this though. We're introduced to Adam's nephew. And this is no shade to the special needs community. No shade. But what I see to be a trend consistently throughout this show, this reiteration of Sex in the City, we're seeing these pockets of marginalized people who now have a face, a reoccurring appearance, just a role in this show. Throughout this episode, there's this coworker or colleague that Charlotte has, and this colleague is visibly I mean, obviously visibly, but she's fat. She's a fat woman. Okay. And she is unashamed. She is unembarrassed. She is proud. She wears outfits to demonstrate that pride in her fatness. And I'm using that on purpose because I'm making the point very clear that it's not, oh, she's just a big, you know, curvy woman. No. It's not that. It's, I'm visibly showing you my gut. I'm visibly showing you my roles. I'm making it obvious. I'm wearing particular outfits to make it very clear to you that I'm a fat woman. And I just think it's very intentional throughout this show that they're purposely showing us these marginalized characters or reflections of real people. And that's just not what I'm here. I don't want to say it. Even with LTW, yeah, she's a Black woman. I love her. As far as I love Nicole Ari Parker, I really appreciate seeing her. I love her since Soul Food, all of that. But again, the include, like, it just feels like a parody. It feels pandering. It feels performative, right? You have Seema playing the role of Samantha, and Seema is clearly an Indian woman. You have LTW, who is a Black woman, and now both of them are a part of this circle with the girls, Charlotte, Carrie, and Miranda. Obviously, we have the gay characters. What else? And now we have Adam, whose nephew is special needs. Like, what else? Oh, and of course, we have the they, the thems. I know Shay is no longer on the show, but the reflection of that from season 1 and season 2 was enough. It left the imprint. And we also have Lily, well, Lily's sister, who is non-binary. So I shouldn't even say sister, my bad. But nonetheless, Charlotte's child, who doesn't identify as a female or a woman or a girl, whatever it is. So you just have all these pockets of, oh, another example of a marginalized community. Oh my gosh. It's enough. It feels like we're being force fed these images, and I just don't find it to be necessary. But I digress. So Miranda is on this date, quote unquote. Again, this is the elaborate date that she thought of for her this colleague of hers, and there seems to be a little bit of a vibe. Miranda opens up and says that she feels a little nervous in front of the camera and she's just asking for tips. This coworker is telling her to breathe. Breathe is the first tip, and she said, touch your chest, feel how your heart is. And Miranda's like, like, girl, are you wet already? Miranda, it's not that deep. I swear, like, she's never had her pussy ate. Like, Miranda, relax. We see Charlotte is at this networking thing, but they're at a nightclub, and she's first is her and Harry. They're both there together, and they're there because Charlotte wants to score a deal a sale with her art colleagues. So they're trying to do that, get that done, but Charlotte has to stay the whole night in order to score this deal. It's a part of the whole networking thing, I guess. There's this pressure to do so. Harry suddenly pisses on himself because he's wearing these tight pants. I don't know why he thought that was appropriate at your old age, but okay. He ends up having to leave early, but he encourages Charlotte to stay with her people and score the deal. We cut to a scene with Carrie talking to Aiden over the phone because he's already aware that she's on her way to Virginia, and Carrie notices that he says his house and the farm is 20 minutes away. But Carrie, from how we see it, right, Aiden doesn't see it because he's not with her in person at this point. Carrie gives his face like, this confused face. Later on, we see her talking to Seema here in this image here that she feels like she would have liked it had Aiden asked if she could stay the night. She could stay the night. But she didn't make that request known. So the theme with this conversation between Seema and Carrie is about you have to go after what you want. You have to be a go-getter. Closed mouths don't get fed. And I totally agree with that. Yes, it is more comforting if someone who you're interested in, someone whom you're dating, even someone who you're already in a relationship with, it'll be nice if they could read your mind, right? It'll be nice if they just knew what you were thinking, what you needed, what you wanted, all these things. But that's not realistic and that's not fair. I do think you have to make your requests known, your expectations known, all of these things. And I feel like with Carrie being at her grown age, again, with these ladies especially, but Carrie being the main focus, there's a lack of street smarts, there's a lack of intelligence, emotional intelligence, I would say, and it's just very laughable. Like, girl, at this point, you deserve everything that's happening to you. Charlotte stays up late with her networking colleagues, trying to score whatever deal she's trying to score. I wrote down the fat woman is interested in the guy, but he actually ends up pushing upon Charlotte. Everyone is just sniffing cocaine, if you know what I mean. But I was waiting to see, is Charlotte gonna participate too? Because she's trying her best to stay up late with everyone else. She ends up drinking an espresso martini, and that helped her, but we did not see her sniff cocaina. Okay. I gotta jump around. This not when you watch these episodes, it's very short. It's just 44 to 45 minutes. It's literally that. And I say that specifically because I could see it on my Max, okay, which is now called HBO Max, apparently. Like, which one is it? Anyway, we get to this scene right here, okay. Well, right before that scene, there's a whole mess up that happens between Carrie and Seema with their rental car. Apparently, Carrie didn't know that her rental car that her license was expired. How do you not know that? She's like, oh, apparently it's been expired since 2017. But let me give her some bail because I understand she doesn't have a car. She lives in the city. So maybe that's understandable. But even so, like whenever she is carded, which I guess is not often then, whenever she is it never mentioned to her, hey, your card is expired. You may want to check in on that. You know, it's acceptable for Carrie in her 30s, in her early 40s, maybe, to be very absent-minded when it comes to logistical things. But I feel like if you're at a certain point in your life and when you're in your 50s, come on. Like, I feel like there should be a level of order, a level like she should no longer be storing her shoes in her oven. Like we saw her back in the regular show do. Like there's no excuse for that. I just feel like what are we doing? Seema ends up giving her card to her license to the lady at Hertz. I wrote down the Hertz lady was being so dramatized in her acting. We get it, y'all are in Virginia, but do y'all really talk like that? Like, what is I don't see why y'all talking like that. The car that they got, the way Seema was driving, she was so overwhelmed with the fact that she did not get a chance to close with the business that she's with. Some stuff. I don't really care about that part. Nonetheless, we get to this scene. Look, we get to this scene right here, okay? Aiden saves the day. He drops off Seema to the airport. He does ask Carrie finally if she could stay the night. Of course, Carrie says yes. Bet. So now we get to Aiden pulling up at his home. But he mentions to Carrie that, hey, Wyatt, his son, we have a routine, and our routine is to let you like I let Wyatt know in advance what's going to happen the following day. It's a part of his treatment, it's a part of how he processes things. And because I didn't let him know in time that you were coming, I think it's best for you to stay in the farmhouse. Well, there's a guest house. I guess it's turned into a farmhouse. But nonetheless, I think it's best for you to stay over there just for his own mental stability. So Carrie makes a joke and says, "Oh, should I just stand like the horses when I go to sleep? Should I just stand like the horses?" We actually get corrected because Aiden corrects her and says, "Well, cows are the animals that stand when they sleep." But that's good to know. Fun fact, I didn't know that part. I thought it was horses too. But yeah, anyway, the point is Carrie is sleeping away from Aiden. She's not sleeping with Aiden. That was the whole purpose of spending the night. Isn't that offensive? I would be so upset, like as if she's this mistress of the night and she's only there to collect her money and Aiden can't bring her around his kids. It- I don't know what is going to hit Carrie, but I'm offended for you. I am offended for you. You are sleeping in the haze in the farm. Yes, it's a nice little home, whatever. And she has her own bed and all the great. But if that's the case, I would have just stayed back in New York. If that was the case, I would have just stayed in New York. Anyway, so of course Carrie's like, oh, okay, totally understand. But here's the thing with that: because Aiden sprung this upon her last minute, we've already pulled up to your home. I'm I'm kind of cornered to say yes. I have no choice but to acquiesce to this and be like, okay, I guess it is what it is. So that's not right. It's not like Carrie was gonna call an Uber and figure that out. Her old ass doing speech to text. Probably don't know how to access Uber. Sorry, there's a mosquito around here. But the point is, I think Carrie again, she lacks the confidence at her old age, and it's very disturbing. Finally, Carrie was sifting through her bag to find the Adderall that Aiden's ex-wife requested Carrie to get. Now, what my thing is, why didn't Aiden request Carrie to get that directly? Why did it have to come from Aiden's ex-wife? Wasn't that weird to y'all? Like, first of all, why do you feel so comfortable to call me, bitch? Yes, I'm with your man. Why do you feel so comfortable to call me? That's number one. Aiden, go get your hoe. Go get your wife, Aiden. That would have been me. I would have cussed Aiden out. Like, why is she calling me? Why can't I hear that from you, Aiden? If you need help getting Adderall for your kid, you tell me. I'm dating you. I'm not dating your wife or ex-wife. What same thing. Shit, that's I don't know. I wouldn't like that. I would not like that. Anyway, like I said, because of Charlotte, Carrie was able to get the Adderall. So she gives the Adderall to Aiden, and you notice that Aiden had this he had a there was a little pause, and the camera focused on his facial reaction. So my head is now thinking, is there another story with the Adderall? Like, is there something else going on? But let me know what y'all think. I would love to hear your thoughts on this episode of And Just Like That, season 3, episode 3. All right. I will see y'all next time. Bye.